Riemann Academy. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe and remember to share with your friends about this channel. This channel is a very important channel because it deals with all mathematics, both applying and pure mathematics topics in undergraduate level and also postgraduate level. Today we want to look at Riemann integral, which is the basis for measure theory, which you find in both postgraduate and undergraduate levels. So remember again to subscribe to this channel at Riemann Academy. Okay, previously we had looked at the definition of Riemann integration, and if you have not looked at that tutorial, kindly refer to the tutorial above and you'll be able to see more of this. So this is like second lesson on Riemann integration. So we are going to demonstrate this by using examples. And we start with the first example here. So let us demonstrate the definition of Riemann integrability with some number of examples. And number one, first example is if we divide this function as given here, then you'll see that if we take the integration of that, you see in the first scenario, you say it's not defined as a Riemann integral. The main reason of this is because this function is not bounded. It's not bounded. Because remember, for us to get Riemann integrability to open, we must be able to get the supremum of the function and the infimum of the function. And again, both should be equal. If we do the integrability, should be equal. The lower and upper Riemann integrability should be equal to the other. If you find that they are not bounded, then it clearly shows that both will not be equal. So in fact, we are saying if you break the first part to this, which are disjoint disjoint partitions in this 0, 1, then you see that the supremum of f is infinite, and again so as for that case, so the upper Riemann sums of f will not be well defined there because the supremum is indefinite. An integral with unbounded interval of integration, such as the case we have just mentioned here, is not defined as Riemann integral. So you have to note that. If it happens that you get a given integral with such that it's a half unbounded interval, then clearly you see that it will not be defined as Riemann integral. So in this case, partition in given this into finite Riemann intervals that contain at least one unbounded integral, so the corresponding Riemann sum will not be well defined like in this case. So that is as clear as that. It will not be defined. So that if you take a partition of this given interval into bounded intervals, for example, let us have the high k, which is the group of those intervals, bounded intervals. It will give you an infinite series rather than what we want, which is finite Riemann sum. So instead of getting our finite Riemann sum, it will obviously give us the infinite series, leading to questions of convergence. Because if it is not finite series, then it shows that clearly it will diverge. Convergence will be a big deal. So if you want now to interpret this to an extension, you can interpret the integrals in this example as limits. So you can break it to idea of limits of Riemann integral, or what we refer as improper Riemann integrals. Improper Riemann integrals. So that we may be able to get the limit to the left and to the right. So if you take them to the positive side, that is to the right, and we take it to the left hand side, so you see that this case, in this case, these are not proper. They are not proper Riemann integrals in the sense of the definition. In the sense of definition that we have just said. We call this kind of Riemann integrals improper Riemann integrals because they involve two limits. So a limit of sums to divide the Riemann integrals followed by a limit of Riemann integrals. So it having two parts: a limit of Riemann sums and a key to divide the Riemann integral, and again a limit of Riemann integral. Both of the improper integrals in this example, you see clearly they are diverging to infinity. So convergence here is not reached. So by that fact, it shows that such kind of functions will not be Riemann integrable. Okay, secondly, let's look at another example and see how it is going to behave. We have here a constant function, which is fx equal to 1 on a given integral. Here is a Riemann integrable. This is a constant function. Because a constant function, it will imply that we are able to get the supremum of this function and the infimum, which clearly you see is equal to 1, square to 1. And by that fact, you see that it is integrable. It will be integrable by that fact. Remember, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe, because I will be looking at more interesting questions like these kinds. If you have any question on either topic in mathematics, kindly just leave the question as a comment below, and I'll be able to look at it and put it up here for you. Remember also to subscribe and share with your friends. Okay, so since this function is bounded on a compact interval. Why? Because we are talking about a constant function. So if you let this be the partitions of any partition in this interval with endpoints, which are this way, you can break them in that way. Since f is a constant, then you can see the supremum in relation to this partition is 1, and the infimum in relation to this function is partition to this function is 1 for n k to a given n, from 1 to a given. That means, therefore, the upper Riemann integral and the upper lower Riemann integral will be basically same, which is clearly equal to 1. So by that fact, we see that this function, a constant function, is Riemann integrable. Geometrically, this equation is the obvious fact that the sum of areas of rectangles over, which is equivalent to under, the graph of the constant function is exactly equal to the area of the graph. So thus, every upper and lower sum of function is 0, 1 is equal to 1. And which implies that the upper and the lower integrals are equal. So this is basically a function f being equal to 1. Yes. So one here, one here. So it's a rectangle. It's a rectangle. You see, it's a rectangle. It's a rectangle. It's a rectangle. So it's basically giving you that. Okay. So clearly, this is happening, and which is for sure giving us that. And this shows that which is equal, and the integral of f is 1 by this fact. More generally, the same argument shows that every constant function is integrable, and this relationship will be true. This relationship will be true. If in case you have any question of either of the areas that we are tackling here, kindly leave a comment. If you have a question again in any of the area as pertaining mathematics, kindly just leave that as a comment. I'll be able to check it, and will be able to raise it up to you in this channel. For that to happen, kindly subscribe, and also click on the notification bell, so that anytime we post any new video, you are able to trace it. Okay, let's proceed with that question or than the example. And this is this kind of example here. The function here with these cases, see it. You see this one now, it is Riemann integrable. It's Riemann integrable, and let's show how is this function is a Riemann integral, because you want to show that the partitions, as we know in this given here, so those are the partitions that we take. Then since function, the first case fx equal to 0 for nx greater, so see here x is greater than 0, clear here you can get the supremum in relation to that, and infimum in relation to that. Clearly is 0. Clearly is 0 for nk to blah blah. Then the first interval in the partition here, which is this, for this kind of the relationship, is clearly again the supremum here is 1, but the infimum is 0. So this implies that for this equal to 1, and for this, since it's equal to 0 for that, it will follow that then the upper integrable Riemann sum is equal to that, and the lower is this, and thus it will mean that this and this, it will imply that this is equal to that, and thus the integral of f is equal to 0. Clearly we can see it from here. And in this example, the infimum of the upper Riemann sum is not attained. The infimum is not attained, and it will imply that the upper Riemann sum is equal to the upper, is greater than the upper Riemann integral for every partition. That should be happening. So this is a very important argument, and it's the similar argument that shows that the function of from a given integral that is 0, except at finally many points in MB, the partition is Riemann integral with integral being 0. So if you have any function from a given interval, and it happens that is 0, except to at finally many points in the given in the interval, then it will mean that the Riemann integral is that function is Riemann integral and is with this integral is actually 0. It's actually 0. So yeah, note that please. Note that please. Okay, the last one is a very important function which we call Delche function. Delche function, given that is divided by this 1 for the intersection of that, and for this for non-rational irrational numbers. So this function is not Riemann integral by a very key fact, that if you take a given partition in this given interval, then you'll find the upper Riemann, the supremum will be equal to 1, but you'll find that the infimum is equal to 0. And since every interval of non-zero length contains both rational and irrational, it will imply that the upper Riemann sum will be 1 and the lower Riemann sum will be equal to 0. And for every partition P in a given integral, it will mean that the upper integral in this case will be 1, but the lower integral will be equal to 0. And by that fact, because both are not equal to 0, they are not equal, it will imply that then these functions are not equal. It will mean that they are not equal, and therefore the Delche function is not Riemann integral by that key fact. So because in any of these interval, you expect to get both rational and irrational, which is not the case as per the Delche definition. So the Delche function is discontinuous at every point in this. It will be discontinuous because you expect at be some point to be rational and the other point to be rational. Discontinuity comes in that kind. And the moral of this Delche function is that Riemann integrals of highly discontinuous function will never, does not exist in this case, does not exist. Remember, if you have not subscribed to this channel, Davika Academy, kindly subscribe. And remember also to let your friends know that we are here giving you slow but clear definitions of various topics in mathematics, both pure and applied mathematics. And you can leave a comment and you'll be able to look at your question that you have left in the comment, and you'll be able to put them here in the channel with a well definition and elaboration of the various parts that you have challenges. So until next time, kindly subscribe and remember to share.